Hello, everyone. It's me, Michelle Daniels, your e-facilitator. I'm an educator, speaker, a digital content designer, and most of all, I'm a woman of God. I want to thank you for joining me on tonight for e-Bible study. I have created a master class for customer service, and this course is going to be delivered in a free webinar that's on September the 9th and 10th. So you pick the day and the time that works best for you. It's an online class or a self-paced modules. This is relevant to individuals in a wide range of industries. Of course, it's geared towards retail, but hospitality, tourism, call centers, e-commerce, technology, banking and finance, healthcare, food service, automotive industry, and much more. By completing the course, participants are better prepared to deliver exceptional customer service experiences, which benefits both the organization's reputation and its bottom line, as well as giving the individual the opportunity to advance and grow in the retail industry. So please join me on September the 9th or the 10th by going to my website, youre-facilitator.com. That's youre-facilitator.com /registration. And there's a form, just fill it out and you will have a seat. And I look forward to seeing you there. So please like and share this video. Tell your friends, your family, your mom and them so we can get more people on and watching. And I want to thank you for joining me on tonight. So our topic is what do your hands say about you? What do your hands say about you? I'm going to be discussing palm readers, and if there's enough time, we're going to talk about Ouija boards. So we're going to talk about palm reading and Ouija boards. So here we go. Again, be sure to like and share this video so that we can get more people on and watching. So palm reading is also known as palmistry, or it's also called chiromancy. It is rooted in Greek mythology, and um, the meaning comes from hand and divination, especially divination of the palm of the hand. Practitioners believe that they can interpret one's character, fortunes, potential future events by reading the lines and the marks and the bumps that appear in the palm of a person's hand. Although palm reading is not mentioned in the Bible, we know that divination is, and we talked about that all along, that it's forbidden in the Mosaic Law. And our foundational scripture is Leviticus 19, verse 26, which specifically talks about do not practice divination or seek omens. Now, palmistry is indirectly referenced in the book of Job, which is dated by scholars between the 7th and the 4th century BCE. And there was a person by the name of William D. Herman in the late 19th century. He was a count who studied the hands and its meaning extensively. He took on the name of Kairuth and became the father of modern day palmistry. He theorized that palmistry originated from the study of astrology and the brain itself, and which caused the palm lines to form in certain patterns. Um, so reading palms is practiced all over the world, with its roots in India and astrology. Also, gypsy fortune tellers did this as well. The objective is to evaluate a person's character and aspects of their life by studying the palm of the hand. The person's name was William John Warner, also known as Count Lewis Harmon, and he became known as Kairuth. Now, he was born November the 1st, 1866, and died on October 1st, 1936. He was an Irish astrologer and a colorful occult figure in the early 20th centuries. Um, and so he truly believed in um, palmistry, or what is called Caromancy. Caromancy is the root word. Um, he was a self-prescribed clairvoyant who said that he learned palmistry and astrology and numerology in India. He was celebrated for using these forms of divination to make personal predictions for famous clients and to foresee world events. Um, as mentioned in his memoirs, he considered himself an expertise because he studied in India. He went there as a teenager and traveled to Mumbai, Bombay, port of Apollo. There he met a guru, an Indian leader who took him into his village, and he lived there for several years and began to study uh, palmistry. They also showed him the ancient books of the studies of the hands. After being there for at least 2 to 3 years, he returned to London, where he was from, and started his career as a palmist. So, palmistry is uh, connected deeply with astrology, and the two work hand in hand together. You will see it in Indian pavements, in their temples, on walls and posters, under banchi trees in textbooks. And so, this form of astrology, which is most popular with the masses, is called palmistry. So, he's considered the first astrological person who introduced the planets and the stars along with the universe with palmistry. Um, and so you can, of course, we're going to talk more about astrology further on down the line, but um, it's the study of planets and how they have restless energy, which is scattered throughout the universe, and throughout it enters in human bodies, and it is absorbed a lot of energy, which is exposed to us by the sky. The energy can be good or bad, and if good, it will result in positive circumstances, but if bad, it will lead to negative ones. A part of this energy is keeps on flowing out of the body. When it does flow out, it leaves certain marks on our bodies, especially the palms, heads, and feet, in the form of lines. The study of lines on the palm, as we talked about, is called palmistry. These line gives an ideal of your personality, attitude, and future. Now, there is a difference between palmistry and astrology. Palmistry and astrology are systems that are used to predict character, life, and future events in one's life. Though they have similar work, the tools that are used in these process are quite different. Now, palmistry is the art of reading lines inside of the palm. These lines are the tools which a palmist uses for his or her predictions. The flow of the lines and where they intersect give him or her an idea about the person sitting in front of them. His or her personality, good, bad phases, and their future. A person must have complete training to achieve efficiency in this area. Whereas with astrology, using information like birth date and time to create a birth chart or horoscope, this chart gives complete details of your life. Palmistry believes that planets release this energy that I talked about before, and it is absorbed into the human body and leaves certain marks when escaping the human body. Palmistry is the study of palm lines, while astrology believes that in the concept of the planets' revolution around the earth, when it revolves around the sun, considered as a planet in astrology. They are at different distances from the Earth. Their distance from the Earth decides the influence of the birth chart of a person. This determines the past, present, and future of all human beings living on the Earth. So, palmistry depends on a personal inter, inter in a personal interpretation, though there are some basic principles that palmists must stick to. Um, Two palm readers may see a line from different angles and have different perspective, whereas astrology is is completely scientific way of making a prediction, and no one can claim that these predictions are even going to be 100% true. Um, that astrology can be more accurate than palmistry. The reason being that astrology results are obtained after a lot of calculations. So, another thing that makes them different is that in palmistry, a person needs to be in front of the palm reader. He or she needs to feel the flow of energy that comes from your body to infer your actions, your mind, and your intentions. While astrology only needs the correct birth date and time, and a person can then be told wherever they're living at. So any individual trying to read a palm, they must have the person right in front of them. They understand that some outline principles and elements are definitely necessary. While astrology is a vast subject that has lots of variances and combinations, and is compiled with a full calculations. Hence, through deep study, you can only make capable enough reading with a horoscope. Now, the connection between both palmistry and astrology, as I said, are intertwined. Um, the palmist has an advantage in it believes that it can be practiced by any individual. It is suggested that only you need to understand the basic principles of palmistry, and then you are ready to go. Huh. But the disadvantage is that the accuracy of the prediction cannot be guaranteed. Hence, you will then depend upon astrology to further verify your results. Astrology and palmistry both give emphasis on the five elements of the universe. In palmistry, the measurement of the fingers and the shape of the palm determine what elements the predominant what elements are predominant in a person's life. Among them is air, water, earth, and fire and sun. For example, a square palm with short fingers signifies earth hands, and with long finger strands for the air hand. Astrology signs are used to categorize these elements. For example, astrology signs beginning with earth elements are Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. These characteristics of these signs describe the traits of a person with the earth elements. So that covers palmistry. So now let me go to my other notes. Give me just a second here. I'm going to talk about Ouija boards. Yes, Ouija boards. Ouija boards. So, should Christian children be using Ouija boards? Absolutely, positively not. Nor should you be having your palms read, if that wasn't clear. If I didn't make that point clear, let me make it now. No one should be going to a palm reader to find out about their future, to find out about things, events going on in their lives. Um, Ouija boards are really considered spirit boards. The modern Ouija board was created in the late 1800s and has an interested spiritualism growth. I don't know if some of you saw it on Facebook or not, but when this new Barbie movie came out, they came out with a Barbie Ouija board. And I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. A Ouija board is also called a spirit board or a talking board. Is simply a game board that has the alphabet and numbers, and yes and no printed on the face of it. It has a pointer that's used to spell out words and answer simple questions. Supposedly, the Ouija board named itself when asked what the maker should call it. Okay, okay, I'm gonna leave that alone. So the board spelled out Ouija, which the board then interpret to mean good luck. Many people see Ouija boards as harmless entertainment. Others believe Ouija boards are magical tools, portals to the other dimensions, and divining oracles that allow spirits of the dead to communicate with the living. They are often considered to be a way of communication, a gateway to those who have passed over and those who sit around a Ouija board or participating in a seance. Of course, this is based upon the superstition of that spirit or ghost or exist in the first place that they can or even want to communicate with the world of the living. Okay, so we know that the Bible does not mention Ouija boards specifically, but it does not have, but it does have a few things to say about divination and the attempting to connect with the dead. So in Leviticus 19, our foundational scripture, verse 31, do not turn to mediums or seek out spiritualists, for you will be defiled by them. I am the Lord your God. In Deuteronomy 18, verses 10 through 12, let no one be found among you who practices divination or sorcery or interprets omens, engages in witchcraft or casts spells, or who is a medium or spiritualist or one who consults the dead. Anyone who does these things is considered despicable to the Lord. In Isaiah chapter 8, verse 19, when men tell you that to consult mediums and spiritualists whom whisper and mutter, should not a people inquire of their God? Why consult of the dead on behalf of the living? Right there, that speaks volumes. How the dead gonna tell you about what's going on in with the living? They cannot. Galatians chapter 5 verses 19 through 20. The act of spiritual nature is obvious. Spiritual immorality, impurity, debauchery, idolatry, witchcraft. I warn you, as I did before, that those who live like this will not inherit the kingdom of God. Occultists will insist that the Ouija boards work by allowing spirits to move the pointer and to answer questions. Scientists have yet to prove that the pointer is moved by anything other than the living. People who are touching it and rotate the pointer. In fact, spirits of the dead seem to get extremely confused when participants are blindfolded, at which point the Ouija board suddenly ceases to work correctly. Playing with a Ouija board is engaging in occultism and definitely not an option for Christians. Seeking wisdom apart from God, especially when it involves calling upon familiar spirits or the spirits of the departed, is clearly forbidden. I keep saying it over and over, and I can't say it enough. No, no matter how Ouija boards may seem, playing with a Ouija board can be an opening for demonic spirits to invade your heart and your mind. Satan is a liar. We know that. John 8, verse 44. You belong to your father, the devil, and you want to carry out your father's desires. He was the murderer from the beginning, not holding on to the truth. For there is no truth in him. When he lies, he speaks his native language, for he is a liar and the father of lies. In addition, he masquerades as an angel of light. In 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 14. And no wonder, for Satan himself masquerades as an angel of light. It is not surprising then that his servants also masquerade as servants of righteousness. Their end will be what their actions deserve. The enemy of our souls has fooled many people into thinking that they are communicating with the spirits of friends and families and loved ones, when in fact they are in contact with demons. Playing with Ouija boards should be avoided at all costs, as one should avoid a physical threat. Your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion looking for someone to devour. In 1 Peter chapter 5 verse 8. The scriptures explain for dealing with items that pretend to be of the occult, whether it's books, music, jewelry, games, Ouija boards, or other things that are demonic and of the occult, is to confess involvement with them as sin. It's considered sin. And they should be burnt. They should be thrown out. In Acts chapter 19, verses 18 through 19. Many of those of who believe now came and openly confessed what they had done. A number who had practiced sorcery bought their scrolls together and burned them publicly. When they calculated the value of the scrolls, the total came to some 50,000 demeras. So, yes, people spent a lot of money when they were involved with these things. We talked about, it going on in the New Testament, and it's still going on today. But we have to teach our children that they're being opened up to spirits, demonic spirits, to fallen angels, and it's a trick of the enemy. He's trying to get a foothold into people's lives, so that they will begin to trust him and not trust God. So um, if you hear someone talking about it, please inform them. If you're not comfortable in informing them, send them to my YouTube channel so they can watch these videos, so they can share it with their children, with their grandchildren, because these things are on an uprise and they should be avoided at all cost. Because too many of the people of God and their family members are being hoodwinked, tricked, and deceived by the enemy, because instead of people seeking the word of the Lord, they are seeking means outside of God. And anything that is outside of God is not true, it's a lie from the pit. So I want to thank you for watching. Please, again, like and share this video so we can get more people on and watching. I want to speak blessings and peace on you tonight. Um, and I appreciate you watching me faithfully week after week. If you have any questions, any concerns, or any topics you would like me to talk about, please go to my website, youre-facilitator.com. Scroll down to the bottom of the page. Leave your name, your email, your question, your comment, your concern, or your prayer request, and I will pray with you and for you because we serve a prayer answering God. I want to speak blessings and peace on your life. And again, I want to thank you for watching. Good night.